Does Satan take control of your life, or do you give him control of your life? Because yes, deliverance is important and it's necessary, but actually, if you've been a Christian for many decades and you're still needing deliverance, then there's an issue with you not taking responsibility for the gift of free will that you've been given. There's an issue with you not appreciating the power of the gift of self-determination over your life. And as long as you don't recognize that, demons will play with you for the rest of your life. Well, I've been talking about taking back control of your life, because 2025 lies ahead of you, and I want you to reclaim your life if it's been taken in any way, shape, or form. And the truth of the matter is this: you have God-ordained authority over your life. You're the only one that can make the decisions that you make. Not even God can make the decisions for you. God is supremely sovereign over all. That means he's completely in charge. But you have been given sovereignty over your domain, and your domain is your world, is your life. And even God can't sit on the throne of your life and make the decisions for you. That's how much authority he has given you. He is supremely sovereign. He has absolute authority over all. It's so profound it makes us tremble. We cannot comprehend the level of authority that God has. But he's given you this teeny weeny, itsy bitsy little bit of authority over your domain. But even though it's such a small domain, it's your life, it's actually an extremely powerful gift and an extremely powerful authority, because you, yes, you guys looking at me here this morning, actually have the authority to say no to God, and God will respect your no. That's how much authority you have. God created you not as a robot where you just did what he told you. He created you as a free will being, a sovereign free will being with the power of self-determination. That just simply means, when I say the power of self-determination, that means you've been given the power of choice. That's what free will means. You can make a choice, and your life is made up of the hundreds and thousands of choices that you make, and those choices have brought you to where you are today. And yes, God is supremely sovereign over all, and he is shaping your life, and he is going before you, but you need to understand that you have a responsibility for the choices that you make. God is supremely sovereign. You are sovereign. And I just want to keep saying it because we hear all about the sovereignty of God, and the sovereignty of God is absolutely true. It's absolutely biblical, but the sovereignty of God doesn't cancel the sovereignty of you and I. We are created in his image. He is a sovereign free will being. We are sovereign free will beings with the power of self-determination. And I want you to have a healthy respect for what you've been given, because the choices you are making is shaping your life. And if you invite God to come in and sit on the throne of your heart and to rule and lead you and direct you, he won't take over, but his authority can extend in you and through you if you say yes to him and you allow him. And he wants to do that, because we're created not for independence, we're created for partnership. And partnership is neither totally dependent or completely independent. Partnership is in between. It's an interdependence. And this is where so many Christians go wrong, where they don't understand that there's a in-between. And they're trying to live their life either in total dependence on God, and of course we're totally dependent on him, but that doesn't mean you stop making decisions. Or they live independent because they think they've got to try and be good and try and be righteous in their own strength. And that's an independence from God. But we're not supposed to live independent. We're not supposed to live codependent. We're supposed to live interdependent. It's a part of partnership. And yes, the partnership is the harder route. Two people walking together. Although I wouldn't call it hard walking with God. Try walking with yourself and then walking with God, and compare the difference and decide which one is harder. Do you want to fight God? You know, he gives grace to the humble. He resists the proud, and he gives grace to the humble. And so which one do you want? Do you want God resisting you? Or do you want to receive grace? That's God's empowering presence. That's God's enabling. Do you want God to enable you so that you can live the life that He intended for you? So there's the choice. You can either fight God, and remember, He's huge and we're puny. And so when we try and fight God, it involves all of our attitude and all of our strength. But if you decide to cooperate with God, you get to live an empowered life. And so with that in mind, I'm trying to encourage you to take your life back where you have surrendered control of your life. Because the truth is this, control isn't taken from us, we surrender it. Let me say something to you. I said this a few weeks ago. It's a very good question to think about. Does Satan take control of our lives, or do we give him control of our lives? Does Satan take control of our lives, or do we give him control of our lives? We put far too much blame on Satan taking something from us. Even Satan understands the significance of the gift that's been given to us. That's why he has to work really hard, because actually he fears the government that you've been entrusted with. And so we have been given authority over the earth. We have been given a governmental authority over the earth. And Satan wants this earth. But he's got a problem. It's called the gift of government, the gift of free will, the gift of sovereignty that's been given to the rightful possessors of the earth. When I say possessors, I mean God possesses the earth, but He's actually given the domain of this earth over to us. He says, I want you to take dominion over the earth. And so there's something here which we need to tremble before so that we begin to take back responsibility for our life. Because God has so much authority that if we were to truly know it, it would cause us to tremble. It's so profound. It's called the fear of the Lord. It's not that He wants you to have a negative fear. It's just that He's so big, He's so powerful, He's so holy, He's so loving, He's light. There's no darkness in Him at all. And it just goes beyond our grid to comprehend. And it causes us to have a healthy fear of Him. And in the same way, we need to actually appreciate the profound gift of free will that He's given us and have a healthy respect for it, because actually this gift that you've been given determines whether you end up in heaven or whether you end up in hell. Think about that for a minute. This gift has so much power, it actually determines where you spend eternity. It determines the shape that your life takes, and that's no small thing. And so we need a healthy respect for the sovereignty that we've been given. We need to actually have a healthy fear of the Lord about what He has given us. Because if we don't appreciate what He's given us, we treat it flippantly, we treat it lightly, and then we find that we go through several decades of our life and where's it all gone? How come it's shaped this way? And then we're trying to say, well, who do I blame for my life? Do I blame God or do I blame the devil? Are God and the devil big players in this cosmic conflict? Absolutely. But neither of them have the gift that's been given to you. God was the giver of the gift. All authority comes from Him, but He was the giver of the gift. But He's given it to you to have ownership of, and you have custodianship over it. You have stewardship over this gift of free will. It's yours. He's not going to take it back. He's not like parents who give their teenage kids or give their young adults, they release them from the nest, but then they want to keep taking them back because, oh no, they're going to run amok, they're going to run amok. No, when God gives you a gift of free will, He's not a giver, take a backer. He gives you the right to make those choices. And so we need to have a healthy respect for the gift. So you need to realize you sit on a throne over your life, and when you take ownership of that and you not only tremble because of the power of the sovereignty you've been given, but you actually appreciate the privilege of the gift. This is an incredible gift. With this gift, you're able to love God. If you're a robot, you don't love God by free will. You don't love God by choice. You just carry out instructions and commands. But we get to obey God because we have free will. We actually have the power to say yes, and we have the power to say no. Does Satan take control of our lives, or do we give him control of our lives? Well, the truth of the matter is Satan has real authority, and we should respect and revere it. But did you know he reveres and respects the authority you've been given? So much so he tries to deceive you and blind you to the gift of free will and the authority that it has to shape your life. And the truth of the matter is, this gift is so powerful, you can actually choose whether to be a victim or not, even if you're being victimized. Jesus was victimized on the cross. He had no choice. Well, he did lay his life down. He did actually have a choice, but he chose to lay his life down. But he was being victimized by the nation that he came to, by the people that chose him. He was being victimized by them, and yet he chose not to be a victim, even though he was being victimized. And so this is where the cross gives us a profound authority in our lives where we can't actually lose for winning. This is the message of the cross. And so I want to ask you that question. Does Satan take control of your life, or do you give him control of your life? Because yes, deliverance is important and it's necessary, but actually, if you've been a Christian for many decades and you're still needing deliverance, then there's an issue with you not taking responsibility for the gift of free will that you've been given. There's an issue with you not appreciating the power of the gift of self-determination over your life. And as long as you don't recognize that, demons will play with you for the rest of your life. They will play with you for the rest of your life. And so, you know, it's good for us to actually have an awakening about the profoundness of this gift.